Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I'm an accountability coach and the author of Get Resultsology, The Science of Getting Stuff Done. I work with people who run their own business, no boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. If that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Sarah Glenn. Sarah is the founder and CEO of Social Jane Media, where beautifully designed websites, seamless systems, and compelling email marketing come together to create alignment and ease so you can focus on what you love. Sarah specializes in quieting the noise and clarifying your vision, giving you the space you need to focus on high-impact work that maximizes your time. Her clients rave that she dissipates the murky mess of ideas and is brilliant at seeing the big picture and breaking it down into manageable and achievable pieces. Welcome to Goalbusters, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me, Robin. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here too. I'm really looking forward to finding out what it is that people rave about. It sounds brilliant. Whereabouts in the world are you, Sarah?
Well, I am in Colorado, newly transplanted from Texas. So yeah, this is home now.
Oh, okay. Sounds brilliant. I know where Texas is. I'm not too sure about, I'm a bit vague about Colorado, so we'll hide that by suggesting that we do the questions instead, shall we?
Sounds perfect.
Okay, let's get the clock up on the screen. And there it goes. Sarah, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is a purpose-driven business owner. It's someone who's looking for that alignment and ease in how they show up in their business. They have likely outgrown the DIY, phase of their business, and they're ready to invest in a brand and a system that reflect their vision, support their growth, and in the end, really simplify their day to day. They're usually people that value clarity, creativity, and they really are craving that strategic partner who can help them bring all those pieces together without feeling the overwhelm.
Yes, an overwhelm is such a business killer, so I completely understand what you're
Yeah.
saying there. All right, so
Yeah.
you've explained and we talked about it in the intro, but the second question is, what is the problem that you solve? But it's sneaky, really, because I suspect you solve more than one.
Well, yes, it does kind of become client specific at a certain point. But in general, the problem that I solve is simplifying, we'll call it the messy middle. This is sort of where your brand, your website, your offers, your systems, they're all moving parts, right? Independently, but maybe they're not quite connecting yet. So that's sort of the messy middle where you've got all the pieces, but you're not really sure how they're all coming together. And that lack of alignment can often cause confusion, wasted time, and definitely missed opportunities. So I solve this by creating really cohesive brands, intuitive websites, and streamlined backend systems that really give my clients back their time and the confidence to keep creating and the focus to, keep connecting.
Yeah, you can't see it because I'm not physically moving, but I'm mentally moving in because I'm like confusion, there, definitely. Need streamlining, yeah, definitely. Oh, all the above. Okay, but moving on, what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that would help them to solve the problem a little bit for themselves?
So this is one that I like to do regularly for myself. And when I say regularly, I mean maybe quarterly. It's not something you have to do every week. But something you can do that's really simple and really powerful is to audit your own digital presence through the eyes of a potential client. So go visit your own website, go to your social media pages as if you were a brand new visitor and ask yourself, is it clear what I do? Can someone tell what it is that I do within the first 10 seconds of landing on this platform? And if not, just pick one area to sort of refine and simplify. So, whether that's maybe your homepage headline, it's a call to action, it's your Instagram bio, or maybe it's the flow of your offers. But the point is that clarity creates momentum. So, that's what you're really looking to do.
Yeah, spookily enough, I did that quite recently. I'm still traumatized. It was horrible. I thought, oh my goodness, what was I thinking? This needs
Yep.
work. Yeah, definitely,
But it happens
definitely
to
needs
all of
doing.
us, right?
Yeah,
I have clients that I help do this, but my own business can easily fall behind if I don't do this work too. So that's why it's
yes.
really important to do something as simple as just having fresh eyes and non-judgmental eyes, right? And saying, let me go look at my systems and make sure everything looks the way it's supposed to, because things get outdated as we evolve, right?
Exactly, yes. And they get outdated sometimes because you've evolved and sometimes because they're just out of date. So, and
Right.
you have to
Yep.
revisit. All right, I could probably waffle on for that, but I'm taking up your time.
You
So
do.
now that we have a better understanding of what you do, let's dive in briefly into goal busting, which is focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve business goals. Sarah, could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits?
So what I did um, long, long ago when I first started my business was I had to lock in my zone of genius. And this is one of the best productivity hacks that I think anybody can always tap into is aligning your tasks with your zone of genius. We all like to be busybodies and do everything, but that's not always the most productive way to dive into something. So, remembering that productivity isn't just about doing more, it's about doing more of the right kind of things that really fit your expertise. And I always recommend, if there's things that are repetitive tasks, maybe they become automated tasks, maybe they become templates. You're creating systems that are essentially supporting your strengths versus removing you from the conversation. And when you're working within your zone of genius, something that I like to remind people of, because it is so simple to forget, something like adding in a buffer time into your calendar is huge. We can book ourselves back to back to back. And then eventually by the end of the day, you're just busy. You never really got a lot of things done. So creativity and strategy, it needs space, not just structure. So adding in some buffer times, allowing that creative genius to really flow is really, really helpful. And when your brand and your systems are supporting your energy, your productivity just sort of becomes sustainable. Like it becomes second nature when you kind of build it in like that and you sort of focus on it from that place.
Yeah, brilliant. Genius. I love that. But buffer time. Yeah, absolutely agree with you. And also flexibility as well, because I don't know about you, but I always grossly miscalculate how long things are going to take. Yeah, it's fine. If you've got time allocated to a meeting with a client, that's a fixed time and space. But maybe there's things you need to do to prepare, things you need to do after. And more to the point, when it's things that it doesn't involve a client and you're working for yourself, you know, I always grossly miscalculate the time. So I just build in flexibility and I just say, okay,
Mhm.
I'll do that tomorrow afternoon, but I'll just pencil in another couple of hours next week if I need them. And if I don't,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
frees them up. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, I'm
Yep.
waffling on and I've still got one question to go, which was, I don't know what it is. The question is, what didn't I ask you today that I should have? And your answer, please.
Ooh. Okay, so I think a good question that often is something that people think about and maybe don't really know the answer to is how does brand clarity and systems actually work together to support business growth? Because I think most people think that branding and operations are totally separate. And in reality, they really aren't. Your systems, they're either going to amplify or undermine your brand experience, period. So when both are aligned, you're not just more productive, you're actually so much more impactful because you're creating that client journey that's just seamless from start to finish.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And you, by the way, you did that in exactly 7 minutes, but I turned the
Ooh,
clock off because I caused you to overrun, and that was my fault. And so that's on me. That was brilliant. Thank you so much. All right. So I do always at this point have one final question, but it's a big one. It's an important one. How can people reach you? And also, is there like a valuable free resource they can get from you as well? Now, I often say, in fact, I always say, it's a bit cheeky, but actually it's not. It's very serious. I think sometimes people aren't quite ready to get in touch with you directly, but they would like a bigger taste of what you do, a sample, if you like. And that's where a valuable free resource can be really, well, valuable. Do
exactly.
share.
That's the point. So you can reach me at socialjanemedia.com. I've got all of my number of valuable free resources there because honestly, as you'll see on my website, I have a whole section that says you can nurture your business and it doesn't have to cost a thing because I truly believe that. Even though I am running a business, I believe that anybody can take the power into their own hands and make progress on a day-to-day basis. But the resource that I would love to share with you guys today is all about really asking yourself, does your website reflect your vision? I work with so many business owners that just are afraid to share their URL. They just don't think that it's the thing that really truly represents them and their business. So, in the end, why do you have it? So, let's really look in and dig in. Does it reflect your vision? And if not, why not? And can we make some adjustments? And it's a super simple little guide that will ask you some questions. And it just helps you do a little bit of that reflection work to take a look at your own business, sort of from the eyes of the people that you're wanting to service. And you can find that at socialjanemedia.com/ does your website reflect your vision /page.
We will be putting that on the screens for people can see it back,
Yes.
and also on the web page and then descriptions that go out with this. If you come back to the web page we send you to where the video and the podcast are hosted, there is a direct link that people can click through, so they won't have any problem finding it. That's fantastic. And I also just wanted to say, you don't want to end up like someone I was talking to the other day. They were brilliant at what they do, and I was talking to them about their business, and they admitted to me, well, actually, my website's 5 years out of date. I don't do most of those things. And I'm like, what? Why? What's the point? What, you'd
Yeah.
better to take it down than leave it up with out of date information on it.
Yeah.
Websites do go out of date, but 5 years?
Yeah. And I recommend, you don't have to do a whole website overhaul
Mm,
every year. But being able to go back and, like I said, do a little bit of a check of your own digital presence, doing that quarterly or even once or twice a year, hugely impactful because you're going to forget the things that you create because you're always creating.
yeah,
It's just the nature of it.
yeah.
And you want to make sure that the information stays relevant and it really is true to where you're currently at in your business, right? You want it to reflect the vision that is pushing you forward.
Yeah. And on that note, I think we need to end because otherwise I would carry on talking to you for a couple of hours, and that's not serving our audience who don't expect this to last more than a few minutes. So, Sarah Glenn, that has been amazing. Some really powerful insights there and very eloquently put as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And remember, everybody, keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.